In August of last year, I started my most ambitious punch needle project yet, a 2.5 foot by 10 foot haul runner. Although I was so eager to get started on this, I really didn't get much done last year because I was really sick with my first trimester. But now, I've got just 11 weeks before I have this new baby, and I'm wondering, can I get it done before then? Lucky for me, I've had some really great help trimming the yarn tails when I'm done with the day's work, but so far, here's where I'm at. Do you think I can finish this in just 11 weeks? Follow along and let's see.
It's about that time. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Feeling fussy, walking in my Balenciennes, trying to bring out the fabulous. Cause I give a fuck way too much. I'ma need like 2 shots in my cup. Wanna get up, wanna get down. That's how I feel.
Can I call you Rose? 'Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom. Can I call you Rose? 'Cause your fragrance takes over the room. I wanna play you in my heart. Oh, so let go. Can I call you Rose? 'Cause your thorns won't let love in too soon.
When there's nothing left, when the world's on fire, there will still be you and I, love of my life.
Three reasons to try punch needle. It's relaxing, it's very easy to learn, and it is the only socially acceptable form of stabbing. Ready to punch out your rage? Get a beginner kit with everything you need at theurbanacres.com.
A full day finishing my rugs.
Well, the sun hit nice though. Hold on. You see the sun? You see the sun right there? Look at that sun.
Welcome to round 2 of how to punch needle. So you got your needle, right? And you got your yarn. So you're going to want to take out some yarn, like a lot of yarn. Have plenty of slack, okay? Now just, bam, pop that needle into the fabric and pull out the tail on the other side. Now to actually make your stitches, you just keep your needle super close to your fabric as you punch it in over and over, and it makes these cute little loops. And on you go as you make your wholesome little design, like I am here. Once you finish that line, cut off the tail and start on your next one. So I know you're wondering how the loops just stay in. Well, they just do. It's physics or science or magic, I don't know. One thing I like to do to create some different texture is to hold the loops out on the other side, like I'm doing here. These will end up being little tassels, you'll see. And quick transition, boom. So now you just fill in the background. I always start with my foreground and just fill in around it, but that's just personal preference. It doesn't matter at all. So now it looks kind of like crap, but we're gonna finish it in part 3.
Como passar o fio na agulha mágica de punch needle ou bordado russo. Se você não tiver mais o seu passador ou ele tiver quebrado, você pode improvisar com fio de cabelo de anjo ou uma corda de guitarra. Tá vendo essa parte mais aberta da agulha? Ela se chama chanfro. Já esse buraquinho menor se chama olho. Você vai introduzir a ponta do seu passador no olho da agulha. Depois, suba o passador até que ele passe por todo o cabo. Abra esse pedaço do passador que ficou de fora do cabo da agulha. Depois pegue a ponta do fio e passe por dentro dele. Você pode até dar uma puxadinha no fio para que ele fique bem fixo no passador. Feito isso, puxe a ponta do passador que ficou para fora da agulha, até que o fio passe pelo olho dela. É recomendado que você deixe pelo menos uns 2 dedinhos de fio para fora da agulha. Assim você garante que seu ponto vai ficar fixo e que seu bordado vai ficar lindo. Espero que tenha gostado e um beijo!
This is my super quick and easy punch needle tutorial. You're going to start by weaving the needle threader through the hole in the tip of the needle and down through the body of the punch needle. You'll be left with a little loop at the end, and that's where you're going to weave your yarn through. Then you yank on the tab and pull the yarn through the body of the punch needle and out through that hole. You'll want to pull the yarn a little bit to create a small tail at the end. Then you'll face the open side of the needle in the direction you're moving the punch needle. Don't lift the needle off the fabric or it will pull out the loops. Just lift and slide it over on the fabric. If your loops aren't staying in the fabric, check that your yarn has enough slack and isn't pulled taut. When you're ready to end the line that you're working on or change the color, pull the needle off the fabric and use your finger to hold down the yarn so it doesn't pull your loops out of the fabric. Then snip and leave a small tail.
Estaba muy estresado y mi psicólogo me recomendó que hiciera algo. Fue entonces que descubrí el maravilloso mundo del bordado. Y puedo decir que ha sido una verdadera revelación. Desde el primer momento que tomé la aguja y el hilo, sentí una sensación de calma y serenidad que tanto necesitaba. Sígueme para ver más.
Resultado final do esquilo que eu bordei de presente. Com o bordado finalizado, passei a cola própria para punch needle e esperei secar. Se você quiser o link, tem aqui no meu destaque links. Com a cola seca, retirei o tecido do bastidor e agora, gente, só o terror. Primeiro, tirei o excesso de tecido e vamos tosquear esse esquilo. Já adianto para vocês que eu demorei 4 horas nesse processo. Comecei tirando ali a parte de cima de toda a lã para facilitar, né, o processo de transformar esse ponto em pelúcia e depois fui puxando com a tesoura os pontos que estavam mais escondidos. Aí, hora de passar a tosqueadeira de novo, e de novo, e de novo. Quando o processo já estava bem encaminhado, fui esconder o tecido, dei picotes e depois passei a cola quente. Para dar mais formato no esquilo, usei a tesoura para tirar o excesso de lã que estava nas pontas e voltei, gente, para o processo de tosquear, mas agora um pouquinho diferente. Usei a tosqueadeira para dar uma profundidade e fazer alguns vincos na lã, assim ficou tudo mais definido e o esquilo ficou incrível. Deu bastante trabalho essa parte, usei a tesoura também várias vezes para deixar tudo bem definido e eu amei. Hora de transformar esse esquilo em um quadro. Peguei uma moldura que vinha com um fundo de MDF e passei cola branca, uma camada bem fina. Espalhei bem e depois coloquei um tecido que combinava com as cores que eu escolhi e depois que secou, tirei o excesso de tecido com a tesoura. Encaixei o fundo de volta na moldura para ter certeza de onde eu ia botar o meu esquilo. Arrumei ele ali e depois colei tudo com cola quente. E olha só esse resultado. Eu amei e já quero fazer mais quadros de bebê.
This is how I make rugs. This is called a punch needle and this is done on monk's cloth. So the first thing that I do is I go ahead and just stab straight through like that. And it will come out the other side. So it's hard to see. So it'll come out the other side. And then you just pull this. And then you can just start going along the canvas. You want to make sure that the open hole is facing the way that you're going. And then you just keep stabbing through. And when you get to a section that you want to stop, just go ahead and flip it over and cut. And then pull this right out. And then go ahead and restart wherever you want to start again. This is how that one turned out. I'm not going to be using this one for a rug, but it's the same process. But I'm just going to be using this one for a little bag instead.
Hey everyone, I went ahead and took a bit of our live and I'm making it into this little clip for you guys so you can see our work is finished, but here along these lines it's not very clean and crisp. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some needle nose tweezers. Mine, I really like the Cricut ones because they already stay closed and you don't have to hold them shut. So you're just going to go in and kind of move the stitches apart and see if any loops went through some other color loop. So if you can see here, this black one went through that white loop, and what we're going to do is just carefully lift that piece up and then push the black loop out of the white one, and then you just go in and keep moving those stitches from, you know, back and forth and separate them and see if any of them need to be moved like we did the black and the white one, and then just work your way down, and that will help ensure that you have a nice clean design at the end. So if you do your punch needle and you flip it over and it's real messy, don't feel like you have to go in and undo your work, pull it out and repunch it. Most of the time, if you just go in and take the time to separate where they meet, that will help keep your design clean and crisp and nice, and you don't have to do a bunch of extra work. Now, if you're going to do long loops on your work and you're going to go in and cut them and then shave them down, then you don't need to do this step because you're going to go in and clean up in there anyways. But hopefully this is helpful and will help some of y'all with the stuff that y'all been working on. So if y'all have any other questions, please leave them down below and I will try to get videos made up. I did make a list of the questions that y'all been asking during the lives, and I will get those designs up for you guys, or those videos up for you guys as we get them recorded. So just bear with me while I get that done. And I hope that y'all have a really nice tufting journey. I'd love to see some of y'all's work. And then here you can see we went ahead and did the whole top row. It looks a lot neater. So just a little tip. I hope this helps you guys.
most recent hyperfixation has been making punch needle mirrors, so I'm going to show you how I make them. First things first, we have to draw our design. You can either trace something or you can freehand it like I'm doing here. Beautiful, a masterpiece. She is the moment. Now we can start punch needling. I did also just post a longer form, more in-depth video on how I make my punch needle mirrors over on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that, maybe go check that out. It's linked in my bio. But back to what we're doing. I'm just finishing up all of my different colors and now we're ready to cut it off the frame. The rest of the process is just a whole lot of cutting and hot gluing. So we're gonna seal in the sides and then glue our mirror onto the back of the frame. You could stop here, but I like to add a little piece of cardboard just to make it more sturdy. Then I add a piece of felt to the back to make it pretty, add a D-ring to hang it, and then we have a mirror. I also just added a bunch of one-of-a-kind mirrors to my shop today, so if you're interested in any of these mirrors, they are up in my shop until someone buys them.